Well, hello, you filthy animals. Welcome to another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Beat the Bros. I'm Matt Lavelle, and he's Liam Reese. And that's it.
Hmm.
Couple things happened. Some people got really mad with how we were handling the 20 questions. As you heard last week, I came clean about how I did not cheat in 20 questions, played the game straight up and down played it, not a problem. And
Hmm.
obviously, Bern Pocketsy had a problem with that, didn't want to come back on the show. No problem. He's kind of just running scared. He's running scared.
Oh.
He's on a lamb, and he's afraid to face me for 20 questions, and that's fine. That's
Oh.
fine. If you're afraid to face me for 20 questions, that's fine. Liam, you kind of always have been impartial, but that's your deal. You're just like, hey,
Hmm.
let's keep it moving. Tom,
Yeah.
on the other hand, took a strong stance against, claimed I was cheating, claimed that I did the wrong thing, claimed that I've been Googling and chat GPTing and AIing and all that, which I wasn't. Did a touch of the Googs. That's about it. That's
Touch of the
about it.
goose.
Touch of the Googs. So now, Tom, he's refusing to come on.
Oh.
So I said, good. You want to know why? We don't need you. You smell bad. You can't read good. All right.
I
And
think
that's
I think
that.
they're I think they're plotting your demise as we speak.
Let them
If I had to
plot.
guess, they're plotting your demise.
Let them plot. A lot
It
better if
seems
tried and
it
failed.
seems like that's how what's happening right now. I'm sorry. That's
Liam,
just the
let
way
me
it seems.
remind you of a little ditty about Matt and Tom back
Hmm.
in, this was 2021 when this
Oh.
happened. When we first started the show, Tom bought the rights to the show out from underneath me from my ex partner, Shake. Well, bought the rights to the show, and I won the rights to the show back in a game of Mario Kart. And you can see it documented in the Road to Rainbow Road series we have on our YouTube channel. Great, great series, great road, great challenge. And I
Great
ended up
game.
winning, great game. And I ended up winning the show back
Hmm.
like a man does. And that's what I
Yep.
did. And it was awesome.
Yes. Like a
It was
man
great.
does.
And that was the Road to
Correct.
Rainbow Road. But so I don't know if Tom, he's got all stinkied up and hot and bothered now with this whole burn thing. And
Yeah.
they can both take a shove and shove it up the shoves. Because
And
guess
cram it up
what?
their cram holes. Yeah.
Cram it up the cram. Cram it up the cram, Liam. I know you're impartial, and that's what I love about you. You're
Yeah,
just
but
like,
I'm
hey,
here. Okay.
yeah,
I'm
you're
here.
here. You're here. You're here and you're ready to go. And that's what matters. You're not running away. You're not running scared. What
Correct.
happens when you have a disagreement? Oh, I tuck my tail and I run and I cry. Not Liam. Nope. Not the most handsome man in town. Not old Picklebar.
Not me, not once, not never.
Not me, not once, not never. Picklebar shows up. He shows up, and not just to the Pumpernicks Deli. All right? He shows up here.
It's our objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. We're just sharing. Working perspectives.
Okay?
Nice.
So, being that Tom was too chicken shit to show up, we're going to do our own version of Tom's Topics. Oh.
Um,
All right, Liam, Toy Story. You heard of it?
I've heard of it. Toy Story, I've definitely heard of it.
Yep. So, Toy Story 5, heard of it?
Heard of it.
Went and saw it with my daughter. Finally took my daughter to the movies.
Oh,
I'll tell
and
you,
and
taking your kid to the movies is the best.
it is. Definitely the
Best.
best. I went with my kid to the movies today, and
Right.
I agree. It's awesome. I love it.
It's the best. If you got a kid that likes going to the movies, it's the best. You buy some
Yep.
popcorn, you get
Mm-hmm.
some candy from the dollar store, you're
Yep.
fucking whacking up a
Yep, that's
lemonade.
exactly what we did. Yeah, we took a couple candies from the dollar store, snuck that in. But you do get the popcorn and the drinks from
You
them.
got it. You
So I
got it.
think that's what
You
you're
got it.
trying to make up when you do the
Right.
dollar store run is
Right.
you're just trying to kind of cut it back a little. You're trying to meet it in the middle. Because if you got the candy there too, you're gonna get
Right.
just raked.
Oh,
You know what I
you're
mean?
gonna get
Just
hosed. You're gonna get
absolutely.
hosed.
Yeah.
It's $5 for the same box you get at the dollar store for a
Yes.
dollar 25.
Yes. And it is
Like
like the same thing.
it's the
Yep.
exact same. So,
Yep.
dude, they get it from the dollar store.
Yeah,
Like come on.
maybe they do. It's
Yeah.
that's possible.
So I'm a big fan. You hit the dollar store, you go,
Yep.
dude. I'll tell you, my big move with the popcorn. I love adding candy to the popcorn. You know what I mean,
Well, okay. Kind of like a trail mix style, you know
dude?
what I mean?
You've never done this?
I don't like popcorn, remember?
Oh yeah, you're gay. Shit, I forgot. Man, that's tough.
uh
No, just
I
kidding,
did
pickle
have a
bard.
I had a little bit today. I tried it.
And
Yes. And it was the same. I didn't really like it. But I do like now they have like the perfect little setup. They have the kids combo that gives
yeah,
you a thing of popcorn, there's a little
yep,
drink in it, and a
yep.
thing of fruit snacks.
Right,
And
and
it's
it comes
like,
in the little thing, the little holder
yep,
thing. You know,
yep,
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
they can carry it. It's a lot easier for them. That is a
Yeah.
solid maneuver on their part.
Oh,
I will give them all the credit in the world for the kids combo. It's
what?
fucking
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, smart. What theater do you go to?
AMC 309.
Dude, AMC is fucking killing it, man. They
Yeah, they have
saw
the
what
yeah, they
Regal
got the
was doing.
recliners and
Oh,
yeah, yep,
yeah. Dude, they
yeah.
saw what Regal was doing. They saw what Movie Tavern was doing. They're like, all right, fine, you got fucking, let's put bills on the table here. Let's fucking make it happen. I'm a big fan. We live right near Watertown. Water Tower Theater. Big fan of Water
Yeah,
Tower
Water
Theater.
Tower's okay though, because it's like honestly, Water Tower, you're going like a Tuesday or something. It's half the price.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
it is half the price of AMC. So we do sprinkle some Water Tower, uh like
I love
Water
a good
Tower or
matinee.
Broad Street Theater in Souderton. Also great,
Right.
dude. Go there. It's got the old school chairs in there when you walk in, and
Ooh.
dude, Broad Street in Souderton. Don't sleep on it. Great movie theater.
All right. I'll check it out. So either way, we go to see Toy Story 5.
Mm,
Heard of it?
yes.
All right, so we're there, right? The whole theme of Toy Story 5, spoiler, is it's toys versus tablets, right?
Oh,
Like electronic devices. This whole movie is based around how electronic devices are ruining kids their imaginations, right?
yeah.
And how if you're not on the tablet communicating with your friends, then like you're
Then you're
lost and you're
losing.
alone.
Yeah.
Right. And like they had like the technical like some of the villains in the movie, right? Like these would be considered the villains. Is that three of the villains were three little girls that all they did was sit and play on their tablets,
Oh shit.
right? Yeah. Like those are the three biggest villains, you
That's
know?
funny.
And I was like, damn. But eventually, like, they find a friend that wants to play and use their imagination and whatever, which I'm all
Good.
for. I'm a big imagination guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter this weekend got her a an electric scooter. Didn't I, Liam? Got her
Oh,
an
you
old
sure did.
Yep,
Just
got
in
it
the nick
from
of time, too, remember?
yeah,
I
yeah, oh
rolled up
yeah.
just in the nick of time.
Got the electric scooter from the Liam Reese secondhand scooter store.
Yeah.
You know? I love, hey, the Liam Reese Electronics Store. I'm a big fan. Repeat customer. I'll
Yep.
rate it on Google 5 stars.
He's got two punches on his card. You know, if
Yeah.
he punches one more, and I think he gets the fourth one for free.
But we got this scooter, dude. Legit, she had it out today. She's
Uh-huh.
riding around and like she's pretending like she's on a mission for the Wildcrats. You know what I
I
mean?
love
Like
it.
that's
I love it.
doing a little imagination. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Let's get a little
I love that.
imagination going here. Yeah, I was all for it. You know what I mean? So, but dude, either way, so the movie is it's kind of how they like one of the big arcs of the movie is they teach like the old toys teach some new electronic toys that aren't tablets. Like it could be like remember like they had the old cameras for kids. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
they went through like one of the toys was like a potty training toy, and one toy was like an Atlas toy that they used to give kids. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Okay.
all those stupid old ones, they become like secondary toys in comparison to a tablet or a
Mm-hmm.
laptop, right? So then, you know, the Toy Story normals had to teach the electronic ones, like, you guys don't know what playing is. You only got playing like this, like they used you. Like, playtime is when you get to be part of the imagination. And they're like they experience playtime and it's almost like they were having like a drug experience. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
shit.
what? I got my first hit of play? I
They
got
were
my
like,
first hit of
it was
playtime?
trippy.
Oh, dude. Well, you know, the way they reacted, they're like, oh my God, that was the best experience of my life. Is that what it feels like every time? And you're like, no, it feels like that the first time, and then the rest of the time you're chasing that first time. Is really what that is. If you really want to, if this is the addiction you really want, that's what that is.
And he's
Okay?
chasing the dragon. Yeah.
You're just chasing that pop, daddy. So either way, it comes down to, you know, they said some kids play different, which basically means some kids are fucking losers that are face down in a tablet all the time, that don't
Mm-hmm.
have parents taking, you know, that just
Mm-hmm.
the really it's the parents want to be face down in the tablet, so they let the kids be face down in the tablet. And then there's other kids that want to play with toys and use their imagination and have fun. And that's Toy Story 5, Liam. And also, Buzz Lightyear is now a drone.
What?
Yeah.
He's a drone. How?
Spoiler.
Well, I'll have to see it. I'll have to see it. I've seen every Toy
But
Story, so I definitely have to see this one.
I'll tell you, it was a good movie though. Good
Mm-hmm.
movie. Good moves. Good movie. It's not
Oh
Hook,
man,
but it's you know, it's good.
dude, Hook is a top tier kids movie, dude. That
Oh,
is
one of
about
the
as good as it
greatest.
gets. Yep.
One of the greatest. Honestly, I remember seeing that in theaters with my dad. That's how great that movie is. I think I
Toy
was like
Story
6.
franchise is up there. Hook, Toy Story, Sandlot, obviously.
Yeah.
Sandlot might
But
be
even
greatest
dude,
of all time,
Lion
but
King, you
Lion King
know,
definitely up there.
I think
Aladdin is up
Sandlot's
there.
good is good for boys. There isn't like a I don't think my daughter
My
would, you
yeah,
know.
show it to her. She'll probably still like it. It's still like a kid's like adventure. I'm telling you, I showed it to my kid and she liked it.
I don't think she'll connect with it as much as like a
Oh,
boy
as much
would
as we,
though.
yeah, probably not. But they'll still watch it and enjoy
Right,
it,
they'll
I
still
think.
like it. They won't
Yeah.
be chasing Wendy Peppercorn, you know? Did you have a Wendy Peppercorn growing up, Liam?
Oh man. In our neighborhood. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, one of my friend's older sisters, but
Can't
we'll
say.
we'll leave it. Yeah, we'll
All
leave it
right.
be. Yeah.
We had one in our neighborhood. It was at 4th Street Pool. It was usually
Uh,
whoever just was the hottest lifeguard, you know?
uh-huh.
And there was one lifeguard. God, I think her name was Christy. She was just like a rocket, you
Hmm.
know? And we were just like, damn. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
well,
we
when you're
were
a kid and you're like getting to that age, and then you
oh
see it,
yeah.
then you see a chick that's like 2 or 3 years older than you, that is like, has those things that you want
Oh,
all of a sudden in your
Yabos.
life, then it becomes, insane. It's like an insane experience.
Dude, I remember going I mean, you know who the girl is that I'm talking about. I remember one summer going to the pool and just being friends with this one girl, and then the next summer going to the pool and she was wearing like, you know, a bikini, and I'm like, "Whoa, what are
Whoa,
those?"
mama.
Oh, baby, someone grew up because I went to Catholic school. I didn't see you all year, and then now you got
Hmm.
some yabos on you, you know, and that was your ex-girlfriend, Tori, Tori Child.
That tracks.
Yep, good old Dory. She's awesome. Love Dory. Shout out. Fan
Yep.
show, listen to the show. Love her. But yeah, that was her. A couple other girls had that too, where they just showed up one day and had yabos, and you're like, whoa, where'd the
Hmm.
yabos come from? But yeah, Wendy Peppercorn. Shout out. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's one day we'll rank top 10 best kid. That's what we should do on a tier list. tier
Oh
list of
yeah.
best kids movies.
Oh
There
yeah.
you
Best
go.
like coming of age, like
Yeah.
or childhood movies, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Throw
dude.
Land Before Time on there and stuff. And
Oh, Land
oh
Before
yeah.
Time. Never Ending Story. That's a great
Yep.
one.
Yep. Sure is.
Man, best coming of age kids movies. Dude, that's
Yeah.
yeah, we could spend. You know what I saw the other day? I saw a clip of was they at you know this, have you ever been to Savannah Bananas?
I have not been to it, but my kid is a huge fan, so I'm gonna have to figure out tickets this summer, I think.
Tom
Do they
has
run
been to
it?
a
Do they run
couple.
it during the summer? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Well, they run it
Yeah.
during all baseball season.
Yeah,
So
we're
I
gonna
wonder if
have
it's
to
year round
yeah,
now. I
I'm gonna
mean,
have to look into it because
yeah.
she has one of the jerseys now. So I
Okay.
definitely I gotta figure it out. She's crazy about it because they do
Yeah.
like the dances. The one guy's on stilts, right? And
Yep.
she absolutely loves it, dude. So I gotta get
Dude, oh,
we gotta get tickets.
Tom's taking his kids there to Savannah Bananas. He said it was
Hmm.
awesome. But they did
Yeah,
a
isn't
thing that
there's a New Jersey team, right?
yeah, I think well they travel. So it's like they
Yeah, and I
travel and
think
play
there's
whoever.
like a New Jersey like Monkeys team or something. Like
Yeah.
they're not all bananas. There's other teams. It's like a league. It's a something league, and they
Oh,
all play
really?
again. Yes, yes. The Savannah Bananas are in a league with a bunch of other like but the Savannah Bananas are like they are the league.
That's
You know
the
what I
main
mean? Like
attraction.
yes, yes. It's like
Oh,
Globetrotters play that other
I
team. You
thought
know what I
yeah,
mean?
I thought it was just the Savannah Bananas went around and played a bunch of different teams everywhere they went.
Well, maybe that is. Maybe just the bananas. I'm not sure. I'll have to check.
I don't know
I don't
either.
know if
I'll have
those
to
teams play
research.
each other or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Savannah just played all of them. Either way,
You might be right. It might be like a Globetrotters thing where
yeah,
they are the
but
main
instead of playing
attraction,
the
you know?
same, but instead of saying playing the same team, they play like a different
Yeah,
team in every town,
that
which
that
I'd
may
be
be the case.
honestly, and that's probably genius. You know, because I
Yeah.
saw one time it was the firefighters they played, but dude, they have like a whole bunch of different shit going on now. But
Uh-huh.
one of the things I saw they did, they were at Wrigley, and then they had the dude that played Henry Rowan Gardner show up, and
Yeah.
they did this scene where Henry Rowan Gardner throws the frozen rope from center field to home plate. It was the best. You know? I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, these guys fucking get it. You know? But either way. So, nice. All right. So that's been Tom's Topics. All right, Lishmigs, it's the top 10. Tell us what we're doing.
All right.
Today's list.
So this is gonna be ranked. We're ranking the opening weekend box office gross for domestic, like for in the United States for all the Spider-Man movies. Because
Love it.
as everyone knows, as of the time of this recording, Spider-Man Brand New Day has become the highest grossing weekend for domestic. So we know that Spider-Man Brand New Day is number one, okay? There's a
All
dash
right.
between Spider and Man.
Is
So
there?
yeah, there are nerds that will fucking cry about that.
There we go. Done. All
All right.
right. All
So
right. So, am I guessing then the list?
yeah, you're guessing, and you can work whichever way you want. If you want to work from 11 all the way up to the highest, then you can do that. Or if you want to know, if you want to say what's the next best one, which one you think made the most money before this one came out, that's probably a good direction to go in, I think.
All right.
Do you want
So,
me to do you want me to tell you what all of them are so you can guess instead of just trying to pick it out of thin air?
all right. Well, I know. Let me say a couple,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then I'll guess where they go, and then you
Okay.
tell me. All right. So I know this, right? This is my thinking, is
Hmm.
that the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, monster massive hit. It broke the record for it had the record for opening weekend box office gross at one point, right? And it was a massive big hit. And it came out in a year with massive big hits. Like I think that Spider-Man, the year Tobey Maguire's first Spider-Man came out, the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring came out that year.
Hmm.
The Pirates of the Caribbean came out that year. I think X-Men 2 might have come out that year. And
Dang.
fucking
What a year, man.
right,
What a year for movies.
and Spider-Man beat them all, right? Like it was a
Yeah.
massive,
Yeah, it
like
was a massive movie. No, it's up there.
massive,
You're right. So
right?
so you're
So
going with that first.
I would like to say it's number. Well, so my thought is this: is that one was so big, and the hype for Spider-Man 2 was so big that I think Spider-Man 2 might
Mm,
have broken it, and that Spider-Man 2 might be number two. So I'm gonna say Spider-Man 2, the
mm,
second Tobey Maguire with Doc Ock, right?
well,
I think.
let's think about this. Those movies were big for sure, but the hype for the superhero genre isn't quite what it is right now. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
shit
yes,
on
those
me. All
movies were
right,
big and everything,
let
but
me.
it isn't
Okay, so
quite since Endgame
okay,
and all that
all
stuff.
right,
It makes it so
all
much
right.
bigger
Then
now.
let me bring it back then. So
Okay.
then Spider-Man, not okay. So went Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home,
Yeah,
right?
those are the new ones. Yes.
And No Way Home was post Endgame,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And it was during COVID, but remember, it was like such a big deal, you know?
And it was a monster hit.
It was. It was.
So is No Way Home number two?
No Way Home is number two. Yes.
Yeah.
No Way Home made 260 million on opening weekend. And
Wow.
if you adjust that for inflation, it was 312. It would be like it made 312. So it's almost just as big as this one is. Like
Wow.
Brand New Day kind of like eked it out. But yes, you're right. No Way Home with Toby and Andrew
Oh yeah.
Garfield and Tom Holland all in the
Oh
same
yeah.
movie.
And they
People
had
fucking
dude
loved it.
Thomas Hayden Church showed up and
Yep.
Doc Ock showed up and
Yep.
Willem Dafoe showed up and Jamie Foxx showed up.
Willem Dafoe was incredible in that
He's
movie
just
as Green
incredible.
Goblin. He was so fucking good.
Oh,
But
he's and
yes,
that's him. Also, when you asked last week if Willem Dafoe has ever won an Academy Award, he
uh,
hasn't.
that's which is
In,
insane. Think
insane.
think about any time you see him in a movie, isn't he
He's
always
incredible.
incredible?
He's
Is he
incredible.
ever not good in a movie?
No.
I don't know. I've
Also,
never seen
like
him be
he should
bad.
have won Best Supporting for Platoon. He was fucking
Oh
unreal in
yeah.
Platoon.
Oh yeah, he
His
was
death scene in
incredible.
Platoon?
Oh my
Are you
God.
fucking kidding me?
He was just so
Oh,
good in it anyway. He was just
he was so good. Across the
yeah.
board.
Yep.
Right. All right.
Yep.
So,
All right. So
so
Spider-Man No Way Home in number two, very, very good. So
all right.
now you're getting into territory of now it's pretty much like it's like up in the air now, you know?
Yeah.
Now it could be any one of those from any, I don't want to say franchise, but like you know what I'm talking about, like the sub franchise. You had the Tobey Maguire movies, the Andrew Garfield movies, the Spider-Verse movies. So
I
number
feel like the
three,
Andrew
think about it.
Garfield ones are towards the bottom of the list. Just because, like,
They yeah, they just didn't have like the
they didn't
heat
have it.
that the
They
Tobey
didn't
Maguire
have it.
ones did.
No.
And you know
And
what
they
it
weren't
is?
that great.
I think people were upset that Tobey Maguire wasn't Spider-Man anymore. And
Right.
rightly so, because those movies were great. Well, three
Yeah. And
wasn't the
also, I
best.
think they were over it in a way. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, eh. They weren't. Also, those were all done by Fox or Sony or whatever, right?
Yes, all Sony for everything.
Yeah. So they, you know. All right. So then, okay. So Spider-Man No Way Home is so number three. Then is number three the first Spider-Man?
No, but you're very close.
Is it number two?
No.
Fuck. Is it the
Think of how
third?
much hype. Yes. Think about how
Is it
much
the
hype
third
there was.
Spider-Man
Yes, it's the third
with
one
Venom
from
and Topher
yes.
Grace? Okay.
Even though that one was the weakest
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
that trilogy, that there was so much hype behind that movie. They did such a good job advertising. Remember, like
Yeah.
the red suit and the black suit.
Yep.
Remember all those
Yep.
commercials and everything?
Oh
People
yeah.
were
Oh
about
yeah.
it, dude. But yeah, Spider-Man 3 is number three. That movie made 151 million opening weekend. If you adjust that for inflation, you would be 243 million this weekend.
Damn.
So it's huge. So that was huge too.
All right. So
But
then, man.
the next one you should have.
So then it's the first Spider-Man's the next one.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right.
That movie was
Okay.
huge.
My logic was there though, you
It
know?
was. Yes.
All
Yep.
right. Okay. So then we're looking at, all right. So then, man, okay. I
So
want
number
to get,
five. Now you get into like the nitty gritty, you know?
I'm thinking this is where I'm tossing up Homecoming or Far From Home, right?
Mhm.
Those two are in the mix. I think Spider-Man 2's in the mix because
You're
same
you're
thing. They marketed it so well,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
But
you're right.
then,
I mean, you named, put it this way, you named the next two on the list already. So
oh shit.
it's like a
All right.
toss up between the ones you said.
Okay. So is Homecoming number five?
Homecoming is number five. Good job.
Okay. Which great dude. Great
Homecoming has
villain.
no E. Wait,
Like that?
is it no E? Oh, Homecoming. No, you're right. Homecoming. Yep.
All right. So, dude, great villain, right?
Yeah.
And it was a restart. You had Tony showed up and it was
Yep.
awesome. Fucking Aunt May. Oh, God, I love Marissa Tomei. Talk about an
Yeah, how
all-timer.
can you not? Yeah, how can you
Oh,
not?
all-timer.
She is
All right.
she is an all-timer. Absolutely.
So
So,
then so then Spider-Man 2 is number
yep,
6.
Spider-Man 2 is next. Yeah, you're starting to see a trend here. So
Okay.
Spider-Man 2 made 88.2, and if you adjust for inflation, that would be 155 million.
And how much did
Um,
Homecoming make?
Homecoming made 117 million if you adjust that would be like if it made 160 now, which is
Man,
still
that's
good, which is still a big weekend.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it was the restart of a franchise, you know? Like
Yep.
people were like, we got a brand new Spider-Man, which he is now Tom Holland owns
Yeah.
Spider-Man now. He's the
Yeah.
number one Spider-Man now. Especially too since they did.
He's the only one that's made a fourth movie.
Yeah.
He made
Yeah.
four as Spider.
And
Well,
not
he's
and
made
not
more than
to
that, not counting like Civil
right.
War and Infinity
Right.
War, and he owned
Which
that. He is Spider-Man now.
oh, dude, also the scene in Civil War when he
Yeah,
fucking dusts up.
yeah,
Come on. If you're
yeah. That was
not
fun.
tearing up, fucking get
Yeah.
a clue. Get a
Oh, I thought you were
clue.
talking about Spyfall. No,
What?
in Endgame you're talking about, right? Did
Oh,
you say
no, no.
Civil War? Or did you say Endgame?
No, Infinity War. Sorry, Infinity
Oh,
War.
Infinity War, Infinity War. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I said Civil War, but I meant Infinity War. Infinity War, when he dusts, when
yeah,
he goes to dust,
yeah.
that
Dude, he's a
scene,
good actor. He's a
oh,
pretty good
he's
actor, man.
incredible.
He did a good job,
Dude,
like acting the way you'd be terrified and all that. Dude,
oh, he's a
that was
kid. He was a fucking kid.
yeah, not a
He's a
dry
high
eye in
school
the
kid. He's
house, man.
dust. Oh,
Yep.
not a dry eye in the fucking county. You
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Get your galoshes out. It's pouring.
Uh-huh.
All right. So then number 7 is where I'm getting tricky,
Yeah.
right?
Well, now here's where it does get tricky because now it's like,
Because Into the Spider-Verse did well, but it was a word of mouth did well. So
yeah.
I don't know if it did well opening weekend, but I think it eventually did well because everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta see this; it's so good," you
Uh-huh.
know. And the second one was overhyped, but word of mouth kind of shit on it.
Well,
So I don't know if
the second Spider-Verse movie did have hype though. You know what I mean?
it
Like
had
people were
hype.
about it.
It
Yeah.
had hype, but it didn't deliver because it wasn't as good.
Did you like the first one more than the second one?
Yeah,
Yeah. I thought they were
the
both.
sec I don't
I thought
like.
they were both.
I
So,
don't like when they intentionally leave you hanging. Like they left it unresolved. They left too much unresolved. They did it.
oh,
It was
not
like a
me.
filler.
I'm excited to see where that goes, dude. Are you kidding me? I
I
cannot
like where
wait
it
for that next
goes.
movie.
Right. Okay, sure. But I'd like, dude, it's the same thing when they did like the Hobbit when they had the second one. It's like you
You
didn't
ain't no
really need
hobbit,
this.
no hobbit. Yeah.
Like you didn't really need it, you know? Like we could have like you could have chopped this up and like
Yeah.
fucking made, give us a little extra and finish the fucking story. I just
Yeah,
wish they would have
or put
finished
it
it.
in a place where, yeah, I got you, where stuff
Right.
is resolved and you just
Right.
kind of, yeah,
And that dude, that makes the third one big. Like, dude, Far From Home got plenty done, which then left everything open for fucking whatchamacallit?
brand new day.
For No Way Home, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
Brand
sorry,
New
far from
Day
home. Yeah.
now How was
Yeah,
Brand New Day?
it was fantastic. It was great. I would
Because,
say,
dude, they
I
said
would say,
No Way Home after it was came out. They said that's the best one yet. Where is
yeah,
Brand New Day?
Brand New Day is probably the best one of the Tom Holland movies, I would say.
Wow.
It's definitely the best Tom Holland movie. To say it's the best Spider-Man movie, is it better than Spider-Man 2? That's hard. That is a hard decision to make,
You
I
really
think.
think Spider-Man 2 is that good?
I fucking loved Spider-Man 2. Yes.
With Doc Ock?
Yes. That was a good movie, man. That was a good
Really? I'll have to
Spider-Man movie.
rewatch it. I thought it was okay. I thought the first one was better. But I
Yeah.
don't know. First one did have Macho Man Randy Savage.
First one was very good too. But
Also, I'm messing up here because number 7 has to be Far From Home.
nope.
Fuck on my dick. All
Think
right.
think like we mentioned it. There was a
Right.
lot of hype for it, but
All
it
right.
didn't quite live up. You
So
did mention it. You were there.
the second Into the Spider-Verse, the
Yeah,
second Into the Spider-Verse. Okay.
across the Spider-Verse is next, correct.
Do you remember the movie Across the Universe?
Yeah, yes I do.
Man, that was a good one. Whatever happened to
Yeah.
that guy?
Yeah, with the remember he did that 21 movie about counting
Yeah.
cards? That movie was sweet.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Good
Man,
flick.
dude, Cross the Universe was a mega monster hit.
It
Whatever
was
happened to the
good.
people from that movie?
Yeah, I
You
don't know.
know?
And why didn't they make
Yeah.
more movies like that with like other bands and stuff?
Yeah. They did a Rolling Stone one like that? Come
Yeah,
on.
or like a Jimi Hendrix one or like a Bob
Oh,
Dylan one or like
fuck yeah.
dude, a Pink Floyd one would be sweet.
Oh, yeah, man. Maybe they should do that. We should talk to some people. All
Yeah.
right. So then, dude, now it's gotta be Far From Home.
Across
Number
the
8.
Spider-Verse. No.
Wow.
no, you're close though. You're close. You're close on your ranking from Far From Home.
All
So
right.
it's not number 8, but
Is it
number
number
8,
9?
yeah, it is number 9. Yeah.
All right.
So
So Far From Home is number 9. All right. I'll put it in there.
yeah,
Okay. Number 8. Okay. So the three I
number
have
8.
left, damn,
Yeah,
both
see
Andrew Garfields are
now
still
we're
in
getting to the
play,
end. Yeah,
and the
exactly.
Spider-Verse is still in play.
So
Man.
try to think about for the two Andrew Garfield movies, which one probably had more hype when it opened up.
Yeah. Okay. And then, all right. Yeah, it was definitely
Because
the second one because the second one
yes,
had Jamie Foxx in it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
and all
Yep.
that. Okay. So, and Paul Giamatti was in it too, wasn't he? The
Yeah,
second one?
they like teased him being the Rhino at the end of it, but it never
Yeah.
paid off. They only showed the
Oh.
beginning of it, and then that trilogy died, and nothing happened.
All
But yeah,
right.
so Amazing Spider-Man 2 is next, the Andrew Garfield one. Uh, yeah, it's called Amazing. Yeah, there you go. Amazing Spider-Man 2 made 91 million opening weekend, and if you
Can you give me
adjust
some numbers for Across the Spider-Verse and Far From Home?
Across the Spider-Verse did 120.5 million. If you adjust, that's like making 132 million. So none of these movies are like,
They didn't
you
do
know,
bad. They
yeah,
didn't do bad. Dude, could you imagine making 100 and whatever in opening? Like, come on.
yeah, in
They
three
fucking did
days,
pretty good. Yeah.
and then people go back to see it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, Amazing Spider-Man 2 did 88.2, but if you adjust, that's like making 155 now, which is
Okay.
really good.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Far From Home made 93.6. If you adjust, that's like making 121 million opening weekend. So,
Okay. Wow, what a drop from the other ones.
yeah,
Like
I
Brandon,
know.
talk about like a swing and a miss. What do you think happened?
Once you get after Homecoming, that's like to me, like Spider-Man 2, I think 155 million in a weekend is crazy. But you're right, 300 and 312,
Yeah.
243, that all
Yeah.
those movies are huge.
Yeah. Okay. So then Amazing
So
Spider-Man 1
who's
is
the stinker between Amazing Spider-Man and Into the Spider-Verse?
I think my thought it was right is that Into the Spider-Verse had word of mouth going for it. People eventually would go to see it, but I don't think it had the
Yeah, but
biggest
you don't
opening
think
weekend.
yeah, yeah. So
And
you're right.
then, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 1, there's a lot of hype around it. You know, because I remember Into the Spider-Verse came out. I remember someone telling me about this, and I was like, "Wait, what is this? They made a new
Yeah,
Spider-Man?" They're like, "Well, no, it's a fucking cartoon, but it's really good."
yeah.
And
But
you
it's a
know,
different
Jake Johnson's
Spider-Man,
in
and
it, and he's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
And
yeah.
fucking Miles Morales, and
Yeah,
get, and Spider Girl, and Spider Pig, and fucking
yeah.
Spider Noir. Spider Noir, great show too.
Oh
Nicolas
man.
Cage murdered,
Oh man.
so good. All right,
Love.
so Amazing Spider-Man 1
Yep.
is number 9,
Number
is number
10.
10. Give me some
Correct.
numbies.
Amazing Spider-Man 1 made 62 million in its opening weekend, which is the same as it making 90.
Okay,
And Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is at the very end. It made, compared to these other movies, a measly 35.5 million. And
sure.
that, adjusting for inflation, it's like making 47 million. But I think the reason they keep making those Spider-Verse movies is because I don't know if it costs as much to make an animation movie as it does to make, they don't have to build a set or anything. They don't,
Right.
you just have to have voice actors come in. Do you think they pay voice actors as much as they pay regular actors that have to
No,
come in and
the overhead cost for this. Also to remember who'd they get that was A level. Nicolas Cage maybe, but he only had how many speaking lines? Jake Johnson was coming off a New Girl. It wasn't like he was super A level. And then
yeah.
you had John Mulaney who played the pig. He
Oh
wasn't
no, you had
super.
who's that hot chick? Oh my God, she was Hawkeye and then also dated oh my God.
Oh, married to Josh Allen? You're
Yes,
talking.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
Josh Allen's wife. Yeah, she
She
was in
was
it.
just in
But
Sinners.
you're right, but she isn't like super mega where you have to pay,
Right,
you
right. It's not
know.
like it's fucking Leo, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you're not paying like, $50 million just to get him to show
No.
up, right?
Also, it's like they're doing voiceover stuff. Haley
Yeah,
Steinfeld's her name.
which is probably a lot easier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on.
All you
You got one at the bottom. So people don't get all bent out of shape. And number
what?
11, Spider-Verse. The spelling.
Oh, what did I do? Oh,
Look at the yeah.
spatter.
Yeah, the Speederverse.
The spatter. What a sped. I'm a sped.
So
All right.
that list actually looks the way I would expect it to. All right, so that was the top 11 Spider-Man movies ranked by their domestic box office gross. And we adjusted for inflation too, because it's not really fair to rank, the Tobey Maguire movies by the same standards as the movies
Right.
today, because a ticket
Yeah.
costs freaking
26
twice
years
as much.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Ticket costs twice as much right now. So obviously we know number one from all the news and everything, Brand New Day is made the most ever. Okay. Spider-Man Brand New Day was number one. It made 355 million. Okay. No Way Home was number two. That made in today's money made 312. Spider-Man 3, if it came out today, would have given you 243 million opening weekend. The original Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, would have made 213 million. Homecoming was the equivalent of 160 million. Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire, is 155 million. Across the Spider-Verse, 132 million. Then you got The Amazing Spider-Man 2 with Andrew Garfield with at 129. Then you did Far From Home was 121, followed by The Amazing Spider-Man, the first Andrew Garfield, that made about 90. And then your final was Into the Spider-Verse with a measly $47 million. Because,
Oof.
$47 million is,
Right, right,
it's
right.
not a
More
lot.
money than we'll ever see in a lifetime. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude, that's
but is somehow
incredible.
last on this list.
Think about like that little fucking, that one fucking one superhero's made that much money, right? Like that's over a
Oh, yes.
billion.
Spider-Man is a license to print money. That's like
Oh,
pretty much what that list tells you is that if people get tired of superhero movies, which they may, like MCU keeps putting out movies that are, they're meh, they're not that great. Like Avengers Doomsday is probably going to be awesome, but every time they try to put out like a character, it ends up, there's a
yeah.
lot of stuff that's, not it's put it this way, we're far away from the Infinity Saga, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there hasn't been many Thor Ragnaroks lately.
Yeah, but Spider-Man is gonna make money. So
Always.
they can keep making Spider-Man forever and people will go to see it.
And I mean, dude, this one too, it's like a whole new awakening of the story because he wakes up in an alternate reality almost, you know?
Well, yeah, well, he's in the same reality, but like he wakes up and remember Doctor Strange did
Everyone,
that spell, so nobody.
yeah,
So
everyone
it's like,
forgot
yeah,
him.
you're right. It's like a new story. He's like yeah, it's a
It's
brand new day.
a brand new day. Yeah, love it. All
Yep.
right. Damn, Liam, great list. That was awesome. So let's keep it moving on down the road. So we're not going to do 20 questions today because guess what? There's only fucking two of us, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to I got some news for you, all right?
All right, let's do this.
Okay, so there was a man, he was hiking, right? When
Hmm.
hiking, he stumbled and impaled himself with one of his hiking poles,
Oh
right?
God.
Yeah. This
Oh
person
man.
then had to hike back to get help, right? Like he had to hike back to where he parked his car to get help.
Yeah.
How far did he have to hike back with the hiking pole impaled in him?
Oh no, man. Please don't tell me it was longer than like 2 miles. It's longer than 2 miles?
Yeah.
10 miles? 5 miles. 5 miles. That is so much to be bleeding
Well,
out.
here we go, Liam. Here we go. This is the bizarre news. David Cifaldi, 32, was hiking the Granite Mountain in Montana on July 20th when he tripped over a rock and impaled himself with one of his hiking poles and managed to hike 10 miles
Oh my
back with the
gosh.
pole through his side. Right?
Through his
Cifaldi,
side? Like where his
yeah,
organs are and stuff?
yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
The guy, his name's David Cifaldi. He's an
Yo.
ER nurse. He assessed his wounds and determined that because there was no blood, then that he could take deep breaths. He was in good enough
Wow.
shape to get himself to safety.
Wow.
He said one friend radioed ahead for help and walked ahead of the trail to warn other hikers, especially those with kids, about the gnarly sight, and then the other friend walked behind him to watch for further signs of injury. They said the trek took about 6.5 hours,
Oh
and
my
that the
goodness.
dude was in good enough spirits to joke with his friends, and they started calling him, making like shish kebab jokes. And by the end
Jeez,
of
dude.
yeah, by the end of it, they were calling him Bob, right? So he
Dude.
was cared for in Billings at the very hospital he actually works at, and they removed the pole, but additional surgery could still be in his future. And he wanted to state he's not an amateur hiker, and it was just a freak accident. So I guess being
Wow.
an amateur hiker is like a bad thing. I don't know, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, 10 miles with a fucking hiking pole skewered
That's
through.
wild, dude.
I do.
Probably him being an ER nurse like saved him. Like just
Oh,
knowing
without a
that he
doubt.
could do it and everything
Yeah,
and probably assessed it. You know, a regular person is probably gonna like panic and be like, fuck.
yeah,
10
without
miles
dude.
though. Either way, dude, it's incredible that he made it back.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'll say this too. I mean, I just love that his friends busted his fucking chops the whole I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's peak guys being guys. That's what fucking
yeah,
guys do. You know? I loved it, right? What do
yeah.
you think? I'm a big fan.
Dude,
Big fan. If
I
that was
mean,
one of your buddies, dude, imagine if you were Steve and that happened to you, it would be fucking endless
dude,
ridicule.
we were at the Wissahickon fucking around, jumping off of a bridge into a creek, and
Right.
I broke my ankle. Okay, like really broke my ankle.
Legit broke.
Look, yeah. And on the way, like actually, I couldn't get up, and it rained, like it like downpoured while we were there, and we were still there
Oof.
screwing around and everything. So the water actually had some current, and it was taking me down, and I could like I only had one leg I could even push off of. So I was having trouble standing up. And my buddies and stuff are going like, oh, come on. It's probably not broken. Like you're being a bitch. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And I'm like, no, I'm telling you, I'm fucked up. Like I cannot stand on it. So
how bad did it hurt?
what they did is so we rode bikes there. So that's like what age we were. We were teenagers, luckily. We rode
Oh,
bikes. What they did is they drug a mountain bike back there, and I sat on the mountain bike and then like kicked my way through. Like the mountain bike
oh,
was my other leg. You know?
oh, yikes.
Certainly wasn't 10 miles though.
I mean, still, at that age, that's brutal. The Wissahickon Trail, where's
Yeah,
that
there's
at?
one. If you go down the other side of Prospect, that's yeah. If you go down the other side of Prospect, there's a little like entrance to go, little trail where the Wissahickon is.
Oh, all right.
Wissahickon Creek, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, good on you. Glad to see you're still here today. Did they
Yeah, I
leave you
made it.
behind or at least stay with you?
No, no, no. They got me out of there,
All
What
right.
somebody had to like drag me out. Like I was having trouble getting out of the water because I couldn't step
Fuck.
up on my foot.
Shut up. What, did you
Yeah, it
just
was
land on a
rough.
rock bad?
Yeah. Yeah, like you can't see where all the rocks are because the water
Yeah,
is not,
yeah.
you're not jumping into clear like
Ugh.
Iceland water. And I just jumped somewhere there was a rock and bang, all my weight on
Dude,
it.
were there girls there too?
Nah, just
All
me and the
right.
fellas.
I was
Thank
gonna
goodness,
say,
right?
if there was a girl there, they would have fucking shit all over you and made you feel even worse. All
Yeah.
right. So, okay, here we go. Next thing I got. All right. So, a circus performer, right? They had to
Okay.
cancel a show because something accidentally happened to him. What do you think it was?
I have a guess.
Talk to me.
So I'll tell you where my mind goes immediately. Like,
Talk to me.
what would you have to cancel because something happened to you and you just could not go perform? My mind
Yeah.
immediately goes to they shit themselves.
No shitting themselves. What else you
Okay.
got?
Okay. They hmm, ate bad food poisoning?
Nope. Nope. I'll tell you
No.
this. Oh man, you're not even in the like right mindset here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in the circus and they
So
say
they were
we gotta
performing a trick that they did in the circus, and something happened to them that they had to cancel the show while performing the trick.
Oh no, it was it a sword swallower and the sword got stuck
Close. It did have to do with them in the neck.
in the neck. Oh no, it wasn't one of those they stand in front of the person shoots an arrow at them and they actually got shot in the neck.
Well, here we
Oh my
go,
God, dude. Nice.
Liam. This is the bizarre news story. Here we go. A circus performer is recovering after his wife and fellow performer accidentally shot him in the neck with an arrow from a
Jeez.
crossbow during a show. That's right. Ana Daza Tavera, 42, and Edward Cuervo Rengel, 38, were doing their regular sharpshooting act at the county fair in Middleton. Not even fucking the county fair in Middleton,
Dude.
New York on July 24th when the accident occurred. The circus was canceled for the night, and Cuervo Rangel was airlifted to a hospital where the arrow was removed and the wound site stitched up. Ringmaster Benjamin Jackson said that there was no blood leaking out. There was a little around the hole where the arrow went in, kind of like getting an
Yeah.
ear pierced, he said. The circus
Jeez.
resumed its regular schedule, but the sharpshooting act is on hold while Cuervo Rangel makes a full recovery.
They have no idea. I mean, I'm sure they have an idea, but how lucky do you have to be? I mean, it's already
Oh,
insane to do that anyway, to shoot
buddy.
an arrow towards your neck, but then actually
Right.
hit it. Now, are you going to want that person to shoot the crossbow at you anytime soon?
Yeah.
I'm sure as
No.
shit not.
No. Like you're scarred for life, you
Yeah,
know?
you're always going to be afraid, like, oh man, this is going to be the time that. But then I guess that's how they make a living. They're going to have to just let her rip. Fuck
Oh
that.
man. Okay. So last story. Oh my God. This is like all right.
All
Uh
right.
okay. I want to get the sex of this one. All right?
Okay.
Give
All
me the
right.
sex here, okay? I want the sex and I want what they were riding, okay?
Okay.
All right. So in Iowa, this person showed up to a convenience store parking lot on a vehicle, right?
Okay.
They were intoxicated. They looked intoxicated. They took a breathalyzer, showed that they were under the legal limit, but they couldn't pass the field sobriety test. And they showed measurable signs of impairment. They weren't driving their regular car because they have an SUV, but it was suspended in 2022 after a conviction of
Naturally.
driving under the influence of meth.
Of course.
So,
Naturally.
what were they
So what were
driving?
they so that were they
What?
driving something or were they riding on something like an animal?
No animal.
Because
This is a
okay,
machine.
okay, okay. So we got a dude high on meth, or maybe not. Maybe we don't have a dude because you're saying. So I'm gonna guess a chick because it should be a dude. So maybe it's not because that's what makes this story so crazy. So I'm gonna guess it's a chick, and she's
Okay.
riding a. Oh, dude, one of those. Like the scooters they have at Walmart that like say if you can't walk, one of those
Nope.
like oh okay.
None of
So
that.
not one
No.
of those.
Nope.
Riding, what were they riding? A lawnmower. Were they riding a lawnmower?
Well, here we go, Liam.
Nice.
Here we go. This is the bizarre news story. An Iowa woman was arrested on July 24th for driving a riding lawnmower in a Casey's convenience store parking lot outside Iowa City. The witness indicated the driver, named Michelle Hudson, age 36, seemed to be intoxicated. A breath test showed she was under the legal limit, but the police report said Hudson did not perform well on the field sobriety test
Man,
and showed measurable signs of impairment. Hudson's driver's license was suspended after a 2022 conviction for driving her SUV while under the influence of meth. After the lawnmower incident, she was arrested for operating under the influence and driving while barred. She's being held in the county jail without bond while she awaits her court appearance. So she can't even. I guess you can't operate farm like when they tell you you can't operate farm equipment or anything
you
like
just
that. So I
can't
guess that's a
operate
right.
anything.
I
I mean,
guess not.
but you don't need a license to ride a lawnmower, but you do probably need it to ride one on the street and go to the
Right.
convenience store. You probably don't
Also,
need it to mow the lawn, but you also can't just decide to take it on the street. It's because it's not street legal. But
also now they have like racing lawnmowers now. Did you know that?
I did not, but that is the whitest thing ever. What do they do that out
Oh,
in the middle of fucking
I
nowhere?
saw. You know where I saw it, Leo? Speaking of
Where?
the whitest things ever, I saw it on an episode of Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, shocker. Shocker.
Where they were racing souped up lawnmowers like it was NASCAR.
Yeah, that you're telling me people are racing lawnmowers? It's automatic like white dudes in the middle of nowhere in the sticks?
Dude, the lawnmowers were soup. They were like zipping. They were like dirt. They were like fucking go-karts, flipping, zipping,
Yeah, I
you
mean they're
know?
probably into it? People
I
do that
mean,
with
yeah,
go-karts, they do it with all kind of shit.
that's white trash, baby.
Oh
So,
yeah.
all right, man, that was my last news story. So, all right, Schmig Daddy, I'll tell you, hell of a show. Hell of a
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
Just shows you that all they need
We
is two,
triumphed against adversity,
again,
and
you know? If you
per
had to
usual.
compare us, Liam, to
Hmm.
maybe some heroes in the Marvel universe, because I feel like a hero, or maybe a
Hmm.
sports star or something along those lines,
Yeah.
someone who never gives up and in doing so will always triumph over evil, because that's what heroes do. Who would you
'Cause that's what
compare us
heroes
to?
do. That
Yeah,
would be Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man never gives
yeah,
up. Captain America never gives
sure,
up, right?
sure doesn't.
Uh,
No, He can
Who
go all
else?
night. He can do this all night,
Yeah,
right?
you do this
Or all
all
day.
day,
What does he
all
say?
night.
I can do this all day.
Iron Man doesn't really bitch up either, you know?
No. Thor
Uh,
can fucking throw down.
oh
You
yeah, Thor
know?
does. Thor definitely doesn't bitch up. Yeah,
Right.
Thor. Yeah, a lot of people say I'm Thorish, you know?
I
So
would say. I mean, when I looked at you,
tons of people say it, you know?
I mean, I know a pumpernicks is so Thor they can hardly walk.
Oh God. Uh, never gonna live that one down.
Come on. That was pretty good.
It was good.
Pretty good. Huh? Pretty
It was
good.
good.
Pretty good. Man, that was fucking good. All right. Well, Liam, what do you got before we get out of here? I mean,
Oh,
Thor.
I got something on that last story. If anyone hasn't learned yet, it's been all over the internet. You've seen a million people do these things. Do not take the fucking sobriety test that they ask you to do. You know, she was under the limit. That lady could have got away with that. Do not do their little fucking test if you know you can
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
They're only allowed to take your breath and your blood. So you
Oh, you
gain
can
nothing.
refuse it?
Yeah, you gain nothing by doing that test. So
Yeah.
if you know your blood and your breath is good, tell them fuck off, take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Yeah. Well, speaking of fucking off and taking them to the hospital, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Beat the Bros. I'm Matt Lavelle. He's Liam Reese. And again, Bern Pockasy and Tom Lavelle are running scared. They're
Oh,
running scared.
oh, it's getting hot,
Yeah.
man.
And this is
There's
the
some
Working
heat.
Perspectives Podcast, episode 581. So if you like our stuff or all our content, just you can find us on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. And also on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. And please like and subscribe. We'll keep bringing you sweet, sweet content. And also keep leaving the comments and check it out because we're reading the comments on Fridays. Thanks. See ya!